We now come to the section of the tutorial covering tables. Tables are a powerful HTML element with many uses. Tables were originally developed to present tabular information, usually scientific or academic data, but tables are now used for many purposes, from simply holding a chart of data in columns and rows, or for formatting input forms like I have here, or for laying out entire pages. In this section, I'll be covering the basics of tables, from the simple to the more complex uses of this very versatile of HTML elements. Since the advent of CSS, there are many web designers that think tables should no longer be used, or at least they should be used much less commonly. Many web designers use CSS exclusively to style and position elements and create page layouts. However, I don't think this is necessarily the case for you, despite the power, flexibility, and popularity of using CSS to lay out your pages. HTML tables still make a perfectly acceptable tool for laying out pages on both the micro level, for example, for formatting a simple table of headers and values, or in the macro level for laying out an entire page or document. I would argue that arguments can be made for both technologies, but the debate is still very much alive. For example, try Googling HTML table layouts versus CSS layouts, and you'll find quite a robust running argument on this topic. My advice here is to use either tables or CSS by deciding which element makes the most sense for your particular application, or which presents your document in the best light, or which appears to be the best tool for the job at hand. In fact, it might be both, and in many cases I do use both. I'll use a table formatted inside of a div tag to accomplish the needs of the page. As I previously discussed, tables have three basic components and thus three major tags. The table definition itself, defined by the table tag at the top of the table. Table rows of data, delineated by the table row or TR tag. In this case, I have two table rows. And then the table cells or table content, defined by the table data or TD tag. A data cell can contain text, images, lists, paragraphs, forms, horizontal rules, tables, just about anything that you'll need on your page. The table tag begins the table. You place what you want inside and then end the table with the closing table tag. To begin adding contents to your table, you'll need TR and TD tags. The TR, again, stands for table row, TD for table data, which is what you'll place after the TD tag. Notice that I have some text content as the table data in my rows here. This two-row table here will render like this in Firefox. This is my table. Here is another row. When using tables to lay out page elements, you'll typically leave off the borders, but when organizing tabular data, like this one here with my text content, you'll typically include the borders with the border attribute, border equals, and then in quotation marks, the thickness in pixels of the border. Let's go ahead and save this. And refreshing my Firefox browser, notice that I have 2 pixel wide borders there. Let's go ahead and show you. More typically, you'll use just 1 pixel border. Looks like that, a little bit less thick. But notice the table itself fills the entire width of its container. In this case, it's the browser. This could be a div tag or another table. You can nest tables inside of other tables.